For today's video, I've partnered up with HelloFresh. I love how HelloFresh is just so convenient. They have more than 44 delicious and healthy recipes every week to choose from, which will suit everybody's taste and lifestyle. The easy step-by-step instructions will relieve all the stress of cooking a tasty, delicious meal. It's so simple. I personally love their super quick recipes that are ready in just 15 minutes. So kickstart your new year with HelloFresh's protein-packed, healthy, tasty meals that gets delivered straight to your door. You won't be disappointed. Using my code HUYANA24 or the QR code on screen, you will get 60% off your first box and 20% off the next 2 months, plus free gifts. Thanks, HelloFresh. Hey baby girls, I've got my girlfriend Becky in the studio today and I'm going to be doing her a luxury pedicure and sorting out her little ingrown toenail. So relax and watch this satisfying video of her feet being pampered. So I start off by soaking Becky's feet in a warm bubbly foot spa. I bet most of you have a foot spa at home, but none of you will use them. They are so underrated because your feet feel amazing after having a soak in one of these. I then use my queso foot scrub, which contains lime and ginger, which smells divine. And I exfoliate the tops and the bottoms of the feet, not forgetting the toes. I love how refreshed your feet feel after using this product. The lime and ginger makes them feel so tingly and new. Some people might be wondering why I'm not wearing gloves, and if I'm honest, I try not to wear gloves where I don't necessarily need them. And during this stage, when I'm washing them, I can clean my hands after, and technically I'm not getting any germs off the client and the client's not getting any germs off my hands. It's just a waste of gloves, more worse for the environment. And yeah, I'll put some fresh gloves on when I'm actually doing the pedicure, but I always feel like I don't need them for this stage of the pedicure. Once I'm happy, all the product is off the feet, I then give them a nice dry, ready to start my pedicure. I like to work from my beauty couch when I'm doing a pedicure. I find it more comfortable for me and the client, and it doesn't hurt my back as much. So Becky's left toenail is slightly impacted, so I'm going to cut them using Navy Tool Betty nippers. The cutters are brilliant for people who struggle with ingrown toenails. So you can see this toenail is slightly wonky, so I cut that a little bit shorter to try and make it look more symmetrical. I then use my Navy Tools KT Superfine Nips and I just go down the side walls, just releasing that pressure from those impacted toenails. I then go along the others and just nip the outer edges back a touch. This is because Becky's nails grow in a triangle shape and this causes her feet to feel a bit painful when she wears shoes. So by cutting this back, it will feel more comfortable when wearing her shoes again. I then give them a little file just to make sure they look perfect and nicely shaped. I'm actually very impressed with Becky's baby toenail. Most people don't have a toenail to even cut and file, so thanks for giving me a toenail to file, Becky. Funnily enough, this Dior cuticle remover is being discontinued, so I actually transfer another cuticle remover into this packaging because I just love the packaging and I love the application of it. I then use my cuticle pusher, which is called Ethel by Navy Tools. This item, if you want to do a good pedicure or a good manicure, I literally recommend buying this item. It is £40 and it is the best £40 I've ever spent. It literally gets every bit of cuticle and debris off the nail plate, and yeah, I just love it. You can see it in action and see how well it works. But yeah, I really love this bit, and cuticle work is probably one of my favourite things to do. It's so satisfying. Just look at all that dead cuticle coming away. I then go back in with my Katie nippers and just cut back all the dead skin and the dead cuticle away from the nail plate. I don't know about you, but when I first started cutting cuticles, I used to be so scared, literally so anxious about cutting someone's skin. It was horrible. But through trial and error, yes, you will cut someone's skin along the way. But through that experience and through time, you just get used to it. You get to feel the pressure. You get to understand your clients and how far you can push their cuticles back and what skin is dead and what's live skin. But yeah, that is literally just through time. So if you're a newbie and you're worried, don't worry. We were all worried at one point. You will just get used to it. I then give them a good clean using an alcohol wipe just to get all the cuticle remover off so they're nice and squeaky clean, ready to buff the nail plate. I then use a nail buffer to buff the nail plate and make sure it's all nice and tidy. This is a super soft nail buffer, so this will not damage the nail bed in any way. Also, this is essential to do when applying gel products on the nails, as you want it to be a little bit more grippier so the gel polish will grip to those nails and it won't just peel off. I then use my spray bottle, which just contains water, and I just get rid of all that nail dust and anything that's sat on the nails. Now time for that ingrown toenail. So you can clearly see the nail is growing into the side wall and causing her toe to become sore. So I'm going to trim that back so it will release the pressure and it'll feel so much better. So this can feel uncomfortable to super painful depending on how severe the ingrown toenail is. Becky's isn't too bad, so this shouldn't feel too painful for her. But I'm going to cut back all that buildup of skin which is causing the nail to feel sore, and by lifting the nail in the corner I can cut away the nail which is digging into the skin, which Becky is going to feel such relief after this. So I'm just checking I've not left any nails still stuck in the skin, or make sure there's no hard skin still sat down there, just so in a few days time it does start to feel sore again. I then give it a little spray using a sanitizer just to make sure there's no risk of infection, and you can clearly see how much more comfortable that toenail looks for Becky. No more digging in, and comfortable when putting her shoes back on. So I'm just going to carry out the same process on the other toes, giving them a cut, giving them a file and tidying the cuticles. Let me know in the comments below what you find the most satisfying bit about a pedicure, whether you're doing the pedicure as a treatment or whether you're a client and sat receiving the pedicure. I'd love to know what you guys find the most satisfying. So now it's time to do the hard skin on the bottom of Becky's feet. So I'm just going to use my replaceable foot pads, and I'm going to give them a good scrub to make sure I've got all the hard skin off the heels. To be fair, Becky's feet are actually in really good shape on the bottoms. There's not really any cracked heels. So yeah, just a vigorous rub to get any unwanted dead skin off the bottom will make these feet look and feel a lot better. Also, I must look like a complete psychopath when filing hard skin off people's feet. So apologies to all my clients who have to sit and look at me looking absolutely crazy. I literally actually even get a sweat on when I'm doing the hard skin because I'm like that vigorous trying to get all the hard skin off. So yeah, not a good look, but your feet are going to feel gleaming after I've done. I then give the foot a spray using a sanitizer just to get rid of all the foot dust. And then I repeat on the other foot. Once the foot is all sprayed and sanitised, I then prep the feet ready to be gel polished. I like to use rolled up tissue for my toe dividers. I make sure the toes are cleansed in acetone before I apply my base coat. So you want to apply this nice and thin, making sure you get as close to the cuticle as you can without going into the side walls. I then set that in the lamp for 60 seconds and then I repeat on the other foot. Once the base coat is set, I then go in with my colour coat. So this is the gel bottle in the shade Sienna, which is absolutely stunning. It's got a slight shimmer glitter tone to it, which is really subtle and just looks so beautiful on Becky's skin tone. I absolutely loved applying this. It's funny how I think back when I first started painting nails, how anxious I was about basically smudging and if it was going to look rubbish once I'd finished painting them, and if I couldn't get too close to the cuticle and it looked like it had grown out. Oh, I used to have sleepless nights over this, and it's really funny looking back and thinking how I felt or remembering how I felt at that time. And after 8 years experience doing gel nails, I cannot believe I ever used to feel like that. But yeah, if you're in that process at the minute, don't worry, that will go away. I think it took me a good year to feel comfortable and confident doing a gel nail, but even sometimes I would have the odd day which kind of ruined it for me. Their nail will chip the day after or something like that. So yeah, again, don't worry too much about that. I promise that anxiety of painting nails will disappear, and one day you will never even think about it. Once I've applied my first layer of coloured polish, I then set that and go in with the second layer of polish. You can now start to see how gorgeous this colour looks with the second coat, how much more pigmented it looks when you've got the second coat on in comparison to the first coat. I also think this was another thing behind why I struggled when I first started painting nails, as I felt like when I first applied the first coat, I always felt like the client was like, oh, that doesn't look like the colour that I chose. And I was like, oh, it is going to, it just needs more coats. And I used to get a little bit stressed about doing the first coat, always thinking, oh no, my client's going to say it doesn't look how it looks on the sample or on the bottle, which a lot of the times I did used to have quite a lot of clients say that, which used to annoy me a bit. But then I just got over it and realised, look, wait until it's finished and then you will see how nice and how exactly the same the colour looks on your nails as it does on the sample. I then set the nails again before I go in with my top coat. So your top coat also wants to be applied nice and thin, and making sure you cap all the ends of the nails and getting as close to the cuticle as you can. I then set the top coat and repeat on the other foot. Once that is all dry, I then go in and remove the tissues and apply some cuticle oil. Just a little tip, try not to apply the cuticle oil directly to the nails when they first come out of the lamp, just because this can dull the nails and make them not look as glossy. What a transformation these toes look. Wow. Don't ask what I'm doing here. It sounded really nice on camera and Becky was absolutely loving this. Okay, let's carry on with the massage. So I apply a generous amount of cream and begin the foot and leg massage. Obviously the best bit and the most relaxing, so I'm going to leave you to enjoy the massage. I hope you enjoyed this pedicure video and learned a few new things about ingrown toenails. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!